I've always been drawn to strong women. In stories, in poetry, in their voices. Feminism first opened its window to me in the 7th grade. I had just turned 13 when my aunt and grandma asked me to not to go to school because they believed that the purpose of a girl's life, the purpose of my life, was to get married. My mother was in a hospital bed that evening, and I'm glad she wasn't home. Had she been home, she would have looked them in the eyes and said, "Please leave." You see, I've always been drawn to strong women. My mother almost lost me even before I was a person. One afternoon, she bled through her sari, flow-colored with tears and fears of losing me. The doctors were skeptical and nervous, but her heart was made up. We don't look alike, but I pretend sometimes that I have her eyes. The fierce kind, the burning kind, the "I'm not going to give up on you" kind. As I said, her heart was made up. It was all over her eyes, and no doctor could tell her otherwise. I have always been drawn to strong women. My mother helped me form bonds of friendship with dusty, torn-out pages of old classics. Sometimes tragic stories like that of Anne Frank. Sometimes mysterious stories like that of Nancy Drew. To be honest though, I liked Agatha Christie and her crew. She made me fall in love with Mr. Darcy, but not before she taught me how to stand up on my feet like Lizzie minus her sense of superiority. If anyone ever thought I could be a writer, it's because she is the storyteller. I could drag on about a story, but with her, it's a castle and giant mountains, violent storms, and a heroine who's going to save the world. You will always find lessons in her story if you listen closely. I've always been drawn to strong women. I've seen them behind counters, working 3 jobs, 2 shifts, seen them holding their 4-month baby on their back, putting bricks after bricks on a wall, heard them on phone urging you to buy their product. I've touched their feet, I've kissed their cheeks, I've cried with them listening to their stories. For so many of them, their home is a battleground. Their weapon is education and their technique is patience. They are revolutionaries behind closed doors when no one sees them, but they are working tirelessly, second by second, making sure the clock does not stop. They are revolutionaries clad in vibrant dresses hiding war scars, some inflicted by us, some by society. They are revolutionaries decorated with ornaments, but you only glimpse the real diamond when they laugh. So when my mother tells me the story of Hirkani and how she climbed down a steep hill just so she could feed her crying baby, I see my mother climbing down years of patriarchy, stereotypes and prejudice when she lets her daughter live her dreams fearlessly. I see my mother not as a metaphor or some grand gesture of poetry. I see my mother, flesh and bones, fists and thumbs. She's all of them. Jhansi Ki Rani, Ahilya Bai, Razia Sultana and more. And not just a revolutionary behind closed doors.